Let me actually adjust this light. I'm gonna make it a little bit brighter. Hopefully that's not too bright. Okay. Today we're gonna be editing on Premiere Pro. I'm gonna show you how to edit slow motion the correct way. Now the thing is, DSLRs, even whatever cameras nowadays, even your phone can shoot in 60 frames per second or 120 frames per second. If you want to do slow motion, you kind of have to shoot in those frame rates. 24 or 30 frames is not really going to get you the effect you want. I mean, you can slow it down, but it's not going to look good. Anyways,
let's get down to the nitty-gritty.
Let's hop onto Premiere, kind of mumbled there. Cool, so we're here on Premiere Pro. You have the project open, imported the footage that you wanted. Let's see, okay, I got these guys right over here. First thing you want to do is you want to open a new sequence, creating a new sequence. By no means am I a professional, so I'm gonna go into these little sequence presets. I'm gonna click digital SLR and 24 frames per second. Now let's go ahead and name that slow motion the right way. Okay, press OK. So now you have a sequence here at 24 FPS timeline, and then let's choose one of these clips right over here. I'm gonna get these guys over here. As you can see, they just finished a day of skiing, shredding some gnar, is what they say apparently, and they're walking on this road over here. This is 60 frames per second. This is what the footage is, 60 FPS. Now the thing is, you want to have it match your timeline that you just created, which is 24 FPS down here. So you want to right click it, modify, interpret your footage, and then you're going to assume this frame rate 23.976, and then you're going to press OK. So now you could set your in and out point. I kind of want it to start right over here, so I'm going to press I to set the end point, and I'm going to set the out point right there by pressing O, and then I'm going to go ahead and drag that portion right over there onto the timeline. Let's go ahead and zoom in. Now that you can see, these guys are walking in slow motion after hitting the slopes all day. Probably gonna get a corn dog. I don't know if skiers eat corn dogs. Is that a thing? But here's the thing, like, when you're out shooting, like, travel videos, vlogs, or even whatever B-roll, like, you'll see that a lot of filmmakers are going to say, well, you should know which shots are going to be in real time, and you should know which ones are going to be in slow motion. But for me personally, I never really know. I do a lot of weddings. I'm always going to be like, oh, well, what if I want that first kiss in slow motion, or what if I wanted it in real time, because I don't know what music I want. This is like, anyways, so let's say we wanted this in real time, right? 24 goes into 60 2.5 times. So what you want to do is you want to right click it, go to speed and duration, and you're going to put 250% for the speed. And then now you'll see that they are walking in real time with natural motion blur. And that's how you edit slow motion the correct way. The thing is, if you're shooting with a DSLR camera or even a mirrorless camera, you can only get this natural motion blur by multiplying it by 2.5 times if your settings in camera are correct to begin with. Meaning, if it's 60 frames, it has to be 1/20th of a second. If it's 120 frames, it's 2/50th of a second. So make sure, yes, we do have the power to slow this kind of footage down, but you need to make sure that your settings in camera when you're out on set or on location, it was correct to begin with. Anyways, yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. See you in the next one, but if you liked it, please subscribe or leave a critical nasty comment, whatever.